So Dungeons & Dragons Shadow over Mystara playthrough showed up on my YouTube timeline, on my YouTube recommendeds, and it got me craving to play through this again. I don't know if the game sound is coming through. There we go, that should fix it. And they were playing through as a fighter. Yeah, arcade mode, start from the beginning. Let's go with the easiest difficulty, because they did as well. And it's been a while for me. Yeah, fighter. So I have the Y button set to attack, B button to jump, X button to open the item menu, and A button to use items. So, oh, I have house rules set. Okay, stop that. I want to play through on more or less factory settings. Help and options? Settings? Let's make these a little quieter. View, normal is fine. I don't want it stretched. Or with scan lines. Challenge sidebars. I think I've done all the challenges. But it wouldn't hurt to see if I can make progress on any I haven't gotten. Rules. How do I get to the rules? Is it in arcade mode? Change rules, there we go. Oh, I have them all on. Okay, let's turn them off. I usually don't like to have the house rules on. I don't know why I left them on last time. Maybe it was for a playthrough? Anyways, let's start this again. So skip this intro, get to the action, pick up these things. I usually like to have my guard set as well, but mainly because it stops me from accidentally using items. So you've got your... Like, doing the normal attack is fine and all, but I was really hoping you would either accidentally or on purpose do some of these special moves that the fighter gets, or that the characters get. Oh, I didn't name who you was. You was the person whose playthrough showed up on my timeline, Smugump's Vodnest. And I will link her channel. I will link her video in the description to this one. But yeah, there's like, after years of playing this in the arcade, I've developed certain habits like opening a treasure chest from as far away as possible and using your power attack to do it, so that if it's a trapped treasure chest, then the arrows, if it's fire or arrows, then they won't hit you. And if it's anything else, if it's a deadfall, you're probably going to get hit. If it's petrify, you're probably going to get hit, but usually the ones that are petrify are set, so you usually know in advance if you've played a couple of times. Rescue you. A lot of the players in the arcades would not rescue the people, and I don't know why. I think it's because there's always a last one that shows up. A last cart that shows up, so for bonus points or something. I don't think this will help a fighter naming myself I win. I just do it because in the out of habit, it would give you an item. That's what we got here. We got the orb that stops you from getting stunned by zombies. So yeah, pressing select lets you see the wearables that you have. And then similarly, I go forward really slowly, so that one thing that Smugumph had demonstrated was when you try to walk past everything, everything gangs up on you. All the enemies show up at the same time, and they all start ganging up on you. And if, like, this is a habit from my days playing this in the arcade, and that I only had like 50 cents or $1 to play this game with, so I wanted to save my quarters and get as far as I could and maximize my survivability. One thing that I learned early on, from other players that is that you can slide to pick up coins and other small treasures. Big treasures like arrows, something that would take up space in your inventory, you'd have to pick up formally. But if you just wanted those little ones out of the way, like a mess of coins on the floor, and you wanted them out of the way so you could attack, then you could just slide over them and then continue the fight. This was another thing that... I don't remember if I learned it early on or not, but yeah, if you press attack and then back, then you'll guard without having to hit the guard button. So now's about... Like, I'm going to start finding some more treasures, so I'm going to have to figure out what stuff I want to keep and what stuff I don't want to keep. The fighter throws hammers and shoots arrows both pretty quickly. So I think I want to hold on to those, but I'm going to have to give one up pretty soon. I'll give up the daggers and hold on to the oils. Let's see what we got. Oh, the axe. I want to get that just to sell it. Because the weapons you find don't level up like your sword does. And the axe does make a nice satisfying like noise when you use it. But it eventually gets weaker than your sword. These two are both locked. This one has a trap on it, and I believe if you lift it up like this, you have just enough time to avoid most traps, including the petrify. Another treasure chest. Oh, not yet. Got these guys to deal with. Now, this was something that really impressed me about this game back in the arcades. Enemies cannot back up off the edge of the screen to a point where they can hit you, but you can't hit them. If they're off the edge of the screen and you're at the edge of the screen, you will hit them. They're never too far for that. So they don't have a safe spot. Now we get a treasure chest. It's either arrows or fire. Then we have this big magic full screen attack here. I'll give up my arrows to pick that up. And then this bunch of stuff here. I would normally share the healing potions if there's multiple players, but if you're at full health and you pick up a potion, and you get a 2000 EXP bonus, 2000 point bonus, since the EXP doesn't really count towards level ups here. It's basically just a stylized way of denoting your score. And yeah, tapping the jump button twice lets you jump backwards like this. It's something I feel like you need to have in muscle memory before you'll think to use it. It's one of those moves that's easy to forget you have and easy to not figure out when it's going to be useful. So yeah, jumping back won't work against the war machine. If you can time your hits, you can get all of the goblins on the back there, all in one. And if you duck an attack, then you can pick up the coins lying around pretty handily too. That was bad. There we go. Back in the arcade days, I wasn't sure if you actually had to hit the jump button right there. So I just always did it. You don't have to, but now I just do it again out of habit. Maybe a little bit out of RP value, like a feeling of being in the game and going like, yes, jump! I usually go by the river because, well, some story happens in the middle, even though I know what happens in the story. I've pretty much memorized the dialogue there, but there's also some secret money you can get up here too. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is if you're blocking and you hold forward, or hold the stick in the direction you're facing, then as soon as someone hits your shield, you'll go into this invincible counterattack. It's really, I want to say it's pretty conditional. Like for most low-level mooks, you will have the advantage, but in some cases where the enemy is like really sturdy or big or something, then if you're curious, you can look at what those three are, but I already know what they are. But if the enemy's really sturdy, then it could bounce back against it. but for most encounters it is a really reliable safe move when you need to block, is to hold forward and do an automatic invincible counter against them. Pick up 10,000 silver pieces. This part was really inconsistent in the arcade for me. Sometimes these scorpions would be completely passive, and other times they'll go after you and bite you. And some people have actually, like, lost a credit on this part here. Just because the scorpions were so much more aggressive. Alright, I want to start collecting lightning rings. I'll give up the hammers. Maybe I'll use my oils. No, I think I need them as a... Yeah, okay. I won't use items here. So we've got our scorpion boss and a whole bunch of scorpions from the sky. I'm pretty sure these scorpions are supposed to be totally passive. They might be aggressive on higher difficulties, but most of the time they'll just fall down and start walking left and right. They're just bonus points. Nothing to prepare. Oh, maybe I do want to use this, though. Maybe I want to save it. You don't really need magic for this fight, just... Watch me eat my words there on that. So I just used that super escape move there. I'm definitely not getting through this on 1 credit. Whew. I am really surprised I got through that without dying. My backpack's full, so I don't want to pick up that fireball ring. So yeah, definitely fill up on healing potions. There's one more on the airship, and... Oh yeah, oils. And what else? The hand axe was before the oil, so I want to sell that first. And grab 9 daggers. And sell the mace. The magical items I will keep, because I'm probably going to need some powerful magical attacks in the near future. The Prince of Glantry, Malachi du Marais. This guy's over Angmor. So you're pretty much right about the Shadow Elves in that you could just wait for them to show up right above you and start swinging your sword. Now, I want to ignore that treasure chest there, but use my key on this one here because of that healing potion, and I guess that's a little bonus there, little bonus item. Select the daggers! If you press up and jump, then you'll get a slightly higher jump. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, here's where that counterattack wouldn't do you much good. Let's use that bottle. Oh, I wasn't looking. Alright, 1 credit in so far. Lucky Lucky that she stayed down for that long. Was that under a minute? I don't think that was under a minute. If it was, we get a special scene here. Yeah, it wasn't under a minute. So now we want to select our bottles of burning oil. This is a very easy way to take on this boss. And I very much advocate using this way. Especially if you're going for a 1 credit clear. 8. 9. And with 4 players, I mean, Tel'Aran's health goes up the number of players there are. So with each player taking turns using their burning oils like that, makes this fight a real cakewalk. There's another time limit on this as well. There's a time limit on this side, a soft time limit, and if you see the airship turning downwards to the forest, then the time is up. But if you see it flying smoothly like this, then you might have more options. So here, it's falling too quickly. Wait, I've got partial helm control. So, first time I played this, I actually preferred the forest route. If I'm playing the fighter, I still prefer the forest route, because you can get magic swords there. So let's go through the Forest of Despair. Now, I don't remember exactly what order I took to visit all the secret caves, but I believe, yes, holding down there leads to one of them. We have our Stormblade. Now, I know a lot of people who've been playing this a long time will skip the elemental weapons, just because they kind of slow things down. You can't do combos with them. Enemies will immediately get knocked down. I would keep it, partially because of the knockdown. It makes for a safer fight for you, most of the time, when enemies can't just block and counter. And then you can just hit them on the ground. But it also makes for a slower moving game if you want to do this, if you want to get through this game quickly. So I'll switch back to my normal sword. I think the Beholder might have, some kind of magic resistance as well. So although you find the magic swords here, you might not want to use them for the boss. Ooh, metal. This thing, if you got nothing in that last slot up there, having a medal might be good, because the next thing you buy at the store is going to be free. Right, some of these bugs are going to try and charge at me. I think this is a place for mage players to shine, because if they have stuff like Cloud Kill or Wall of Fire, this would be an okay place to use them. Also because the Beholder might cancel out your spells. That'd be another reason to use your spells in the middle of the stage rather than saving them for a boss. Ooh, Bracelet. That's really good for the fighter. Or anyone who uses physical attacks, because it just straight up increases the amount of damage you do with your physical attacks. can't let myself get surrounded. Oh! Get out of the way of that item. This was the worst place to find a bracelet. Alright. Zombie timed out. I think this is where you find the Cursed Sword 1, which turns into the Holy Avenger, which kills enemies in one hit, but you need a cleric on your team. A cleric has to try and pick up the Cursed Sword 5 or 6 times, and then it'll become uncursed, but a cleric cannot use swords. So a fighter, or some kind of sword wielder, has to pick up the now freshly uncursed Holy Avenger to use it. Lightning ring. I'll take that, though. Can I get behind this to lift it and throw it? Ugh. Alright, Gauntlets of Power. It's another straight-up damage increase, but if I get hit 3 times, it's brittle, so if I get hit 3 times, it's gonna break. Either it or another breakable piece of armor on me is gonna break. More lightning ring. I'll take it. These characters are all greedy. They'll prioritize items over anything else. That's 1 hit. That's 2. Yeah, the one improvement I would make on this game is to have a formal pick up items button that is not the attack button. So that when there's enemies in front of you and you're frantically mashing the attack button trying to hit them, your character just doesn't just crouch down and repeatedly try to pick up items. Boots of Speed, that's another brittle item. You can probably notice the walking speed difference right away. Silver Dagger. Do I want to hold on to that? I'll trade my continual light ring for it. Oh, no I can't. It timed out. I think there's a flame sword in that treasure chest up there. So if you got 2 sword-wielding characters, like a fighter and a thief, or a dwarf and an elf, then both of them can have magic swords. Big bottle. Good trade. Good deal. And I guess I'll trade the arrow out. Trap fire. Yeah, fire sword. I'll wield the Sword of Fire. Decently fast swinging, lightweight, good against zombies. I need this. I don't really care about the other secret rooms, but there's one in there. There's one up here if you want to push this stone to the side. Let's have a little peek, see what's in there. There's a couple treasure chests. Oh, a short sword. That is good for fighters because... Give up the Egg of Wonder to pick that up. That is good for fighters because... If you don't really care about using your shield, you can swing 2 weapons. But I usually go for the short sword play if I find the short sword in the first stage, because there's a chance that one of those first owlbears will drop it. But it might be good against the Beholder. I'm not sure. I think maybe Sword of Fire is best against the Beholder. I'm not doing a short sword run this time. So there's one in there. Is there one here? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm not used to fighting the Beholder, but I think there's a way to corner him. Not totally sure. Ooh, it looks like if you duck, you might be kinda safe. Okay, you're not safe from the sleep spell. You're safe from the others, it looks like. And you can't struggle out of the sleep spell either. Well, you do have your escape attack. You're pressing attack and jump at the same time. That might save you from the sleep spell. Not totally sure. Something to play around with, I guess. But now this guy's toast. Oh yeah, he has an exclusive death if you hit him with a fire weapon. He has that burnt out half corpse, I guess. Slightly special finisher. Get some healing. I only need one magic sword, so I'll sell the Stormblade, sell the short sword. I can't sell my normal sword because that's the thing that levels up with you as you go through the adventure. I think I'll take... what is the next stage? It's the Manticore and the Lich, so I don't think any of these normal weapons will be particularly good against him. So I'll save my money. For one of the secrets, you want to save up 10,000 silver, about. And I'll see if I can do that in a timely manner. It also helps to have a cleric to uncurse the other sword. Oh, right. I want to deal normal damage to this guy. Back to my normal sword. Block. This tiny little shield can block an entire body slam from one of those manticores. Now, if you see this thing block, then immediately try to go into a blocking stance yourself. I don't know if he'll give me the chance to try this. Like that. It's very useful to learn. Just hold the attack button and press backwards. Because you can quickly change from attacking to blocking. I always like facing left, because it makes the character left-handed. Facing left for the victory pose. Earrings. Those boost your magic, and they take the spot of the bracelet. So as a fighter, I'll hold on to the bracelet. Now, if these guys block your attacks, you can just walk behind them to continue. They hold their shield up for so long that you can just walk behind them and turn around and attack them again. And they'll still be facing the other way. You can also just skip this place entirely. Well, not entirely. But most of the rooms in here you can at least partially skip. Oh, right. Running to dodge is not too reliable. Usually, when I play this in two-player with a friend, we would each take a side and herd the enemies onto the right side first, then left side, then right side, because we'd be in the perfect position to just get those extra kobolds that show up. Or I think it's right and left and then both. Then we each take our own side because the kobolds show up on both sides. So if I were playing the elf has infinite arrows. So this, I believe, yeah, this is where you encounter the hellhounds, and I would just stand back here and just have her shoot her infinite arrows at them. But, since I am not an elf, I'm luring them over here, so I can fight them without the danger of fire. Oh yeah, that's another tip. Another really good tip. If you're going up against an enemy that can block, run into them. A full body tackle like that, they can't block it. It'll immediately knock them down, and then you can combo them. And then yeah, if you try to go between these fires, you'll get hit by arrow traps. There's like a pressure plate and an arrow aiming right at that spot. So, oh wait, no, it wouldn't be a pressure point because the arrows will still fire at you if you try to jump between them. So I don't know how that works in the D&D verse. It's just there's an arrow trap there. So walk around the fires. And some of these locked chests are trapped, so if you try to lift them, the trap will go off and you'll still get the treasure. You just gotta walk out of the way of the trap. Lightning ring, essential for fighters. Haste potion, which largely is useless. Oh, this is the gargoyle room. So, good time to bring out that magic sword. But first, let's use the regular sword to fight off the shadow elves. Yeah, you guys. So do your thing. I got myself surrounded. There we are. That's what I want to see. One, two. That's a really satisfying sound. When the hit noise stacks up on itself. Alright, that's all those. Next is the gargoyles. Fire resistance. Yeah, I got room for that. How about you? They just don't take any damage from non-magical weapons. So as a fighter, you're basically screwed. You have to run past them and just go to the next screen. But if you got a magic sword, or magic spells, or a magic ring that you want to use... Oh, I don't want to drop that. Ring of Protection. I'll keep the fire resistance. These are brittle items, and they will break after getting hit 3 times. Oh, items. Items on the ground. One way to avoid picking up items on the ground is to use your power attack, and that is just to hit a direction and hit the attack button at the same time, and you'll do that kind of attack. So how much health did I use up in this room? The top 2 treasure chests contain keys here. So if you have 1 key, it's always worth opening up all 3. I like to lift this one out of the way of the fire before opening it. Lots of lightning rings, good. Silver daggers 3. So for some reason this lich can't be hit by normal daggers, but it can be hit by silver. I think only the elf and maybe the thief can read those signs. Or maybe the mage. Kicked him to the curb. Ooh! Before I even get to use the Ring of Fire Resistance, I was hoping I could just squeeze into a range where I could hit him there. Ooh, I'm too close. If you touch him, he stuns you. Took a gamble there. Lost. This is a good place to use that elemental bottle I've been holding on to all this time. Top and bottom are safe. Oh, right, the silver daggers. Invisibility ring. This will be useful pretty much immediately. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Alright, let's use this right away so I can loot the place without getting disturbed by these goblins. Displacer Beast. Nothing particularly good against this guy. Just stay out of his mouth, basically. Stay out of his mouth and make sure to hit the one with the shadow. Ooh, and pick up that skin too. Skin of the Displacer Beast. Ooh! Didn't slide in time. If you can try to end up behind him. Ooh, that was very unusual. The way that attack landed. I'm gonna have to make a clip of that. Where's the clip? Oh, I didn't start the replay buffer! Right, I'm gonna have to manually cut a clip of that later, if I can remember to. But normally that doesn't happen when you do an aerial down attack. Maybe it does normally happen and the enemies just aren't big enough to get hit every time. But yeah, I think I found a new a new strat for myself when fighting this guy. Something you might want to try is talking to the shopkeepers. Here you have the skin of the Displacer Beast. This guy can make a Displacer Cloak from it, and now I can never get hit from ranged, like thrown rocks or arrows. As long as I'm wearing that. I'm gonna keep everything I got. Wait, no. Sell the daggers. If I buy a hammer, it goes up there. I don't want it to go up there. Instead, how much time do I have? 10 seconds. Buy a silver dagger. Buy a whole bunch of hammers. And a whole bunch of large burning oils. And make sure they're beside each other. I think... Normally I want the hammer before the oils, but I can rearrange them as I find items here. But the large burning oils are basically your easy mode for every boss if you don't have spells. Or maybe in some cases if you do have spells. Another property of the Displacer Cloak you may or may not notice is that the first melee attack anyone tries against you is guaranteed to miss. But only the first one. So if they do like a combo on you, the second hit onwards will hit. So you can't let yourself get too clumsy, but the Displacer Cloak makes the game so much easier. Let's see, I'm not going for a fight everything run. I'm pretty sure most of these items here I don't really care about too much. I'll take the 2,000 from this. 2,000 from that. Let's not accidentally drop my lightning bolt rings. I think I want to herd these guys to the left. And both sides, or to the right again? I should have enough items that I can just start rearranging them once I find new ones. So this one might be trapped. I think it has a ring of fire resistance in it. Yes. And then this has a large burning oil, so... I think this is a skippable area? Not totally sure. But yeah, you could run to the boss from somewhere around here, I believe. I think there's a little bit in the middle where you have to fight some zombies. Oh, skeletons timed out. I'll let them go. Another large burning oil? Yeah. Okay, I guess I can't rearrange my items. I'll just take the bottles, I guess. Or, no. I'll try the hammers and bottles. These zombies are actually pretty good for mages because they frequently drop level 4 and 5 scrolls, I believe. That'll let you use your spells all the more. Ring of fire resistance. I mean, I try not to rely on having those too much. I often forget I even have them until they break. These guys are not a useful fight for me, so I'm just kind of waiting it out. Alright, here's where the fight begins. Just wanna... Aha! See if I can just reach that before the boss shows up. I can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go to this, knock him down. Dang it, the Hellhound. Knock you down once more. Can I knock you down once more? There. Have the rest of those. With 4 players, that becomes so easy, and it's funny to look at. Just 4 players throwing these exploding bottles down onto the boss. And it's got like 2 bars of health at this point. Bosses have 2 bars of health. So just that whole thing climbing down slowly as they just barrage it with those explosions. Yeah, it doesn't really cost money. I think the writers said it would cost money, and the game, the programmers decided it would be too much of a hassle for it to cost money. But yeah, to get to the shop, you just go into the bar and go out again. I like to talk to the people sometimes if I don't remember what they say. But yeah, they give you a couple little hints and stuff. You go up to them and... You have to press attack? Yeah, go up to them and press attack to talk. But then, yeah, out here, and then into there. And this is where you're saving up that 10,000 silver for, because there's rings that cast Cure Serious Wounds. And they cost 1,000 each. And they sell them in groups of 3, so you have to close and open the menu. And I have 23 silver left. If you're curious, you can ask about these items in the background, and they will be made available. It's the two-handed sword and the Morning Star. The Morning Star is for the cleric. I think the fighter can wield it, but the cleric has some special moves if you put it on the cleric. Two-handed sword, you basically give up your shield to get a bigger attack combo. Yeah, and this gnome shopkeep isn't particularly interested. This guy doesn't want to talk? Alright. I don't even have enough for I'll give up my Sword of Fire because I could find another one real soon. And I don't need arrows or silver arrows anymore. So that'll give me enough for 2 of these, and... no. I spent my money on Cure Serious Wounds rings. If I had any more money, I would probably spend them on Lightning Bolt rings as well, for that Iserhorden, that big ghost. Now, as you were falling down this cave, you saw passages to the left and right. Left, and right. You can get one of the secret bosses by going straight into the first... or not the first cave to the left, the second one. But the first one does have something very important. Be very careful not to accidentally exit this cave, because this is the only chance you have to be in here. If you got any extra hammers, those are good for taking out the scorpions. Do I have a fire resistance? I do not have a fire resistance ring, so I can't just walk through these flames. But one of these scorpions is a keystone. I don't have any, well, let's try back jumping through it. I'm playing basically on infinite quarters mode. I want to be very careful about when I open that treasure chest, too. It has, I believe, a deadfall trap. A rocks fall, everybody dies trap. And a duck and press the attack button to pick up these coins. Just to be extra safe about it. Yeah? Aha. That is the Cursed Sword 2. And while it helps to have a cleric to uncurse it, you don't need one. You just need those rings you bought earlier. So you swap over to it. I think you basically have to swing the sword 50 times. And sometimes it will damage you. There's a sort of glitchy way to do it. By jumping and swinging the sword just before you hit the ground. I don't remember if I've ever gotten it to work properly. In single player, if you're trying to one credit clear this and get the legendary sword, what I would advise is waiting until you beat a boss. Then during that little bit of time that you have to move around and collect loot, change to this sword and swing it, because then you could just buy potions at the shop after the boss. At least that's what I've seen others do when they try to do it. Come on. Alright, I'll have to wait till I find some more healing potions. I am playing infinite credits, but I'm also trying to RP this a little bit. So I'm gonna deselect that so I don't accidentally drop it while I'm looting this place. I read that wrong. So this is the Cave of Raphael. A red dragon's fiery breath will char any brave warrior instantly. So yeah, that's the game telling you that that it is an instant death. Leave now if you wish to live. No. If you proceed, I'll fight you and destroy you. Flee now while you can. No. You fool, do you truly seek destruction? Yes. Then I shall destroy you! I'm keeping the bracelet. What is this? Oh, this is the Bastard Sword. More or less just picking these up for the sake of getting them recorded as part of what I've collected. Here we will find a flame shield. And then here you get the fighter's best helmet, or the cleric's, if the cleric opens it. Do I have everything I want here? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna have the cursed sword active so I can switch to it at the last second. Actually, maybe I shouldn't. I don't have enough health. So if I had hammers and bottles, I'd be throwing them here. This guy's rocks drop attack. You're safe at the top. Ooh, we didn't even drop fire that time. This is unusually easy so far. Whew. I can't see his other hand. Where are you? Oh, back there, huh? Sometimes, if I'm playing with 3 or 4 people, and we knew each other pretty well at this point, but if I was playing with those 2 or 3 other people, and one of us had died by then, we'd be like jostling the other person to try to get them to move from behind the rock. Because like basically, if the longer they kept playing, the more we'd have to wait until we could play together again. Because we would usually try and like 1 credit clear. It just didn't feel worth it to continue. Because you could get through the game on 1 credit. So if I was going to spend another 50 cents, I'd want to play the full game from the beginning to the end. Da, 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 da. So this guy, if you can knock a dragon horn off of that guy, and if you talk to this guy while holding that, then he'll craft a dragon sword out of it. Dragon sword is, I mean, I've only seen it used or saved. I've only seen it saved up for the last boss, basically, because this is the last dragon you'll meet, I believe. Oh no, wait, there is the black dragon before. But yeah, it's only good for dragons. Or so I hear. Let's see, I want just the oils. Yeah. You know, I did get the fire sword in the forest, so I think I'll go for the ice sword this time. Oh no, wait, no. I want to retrace your steps, so I'll go in the frozen world and get the fire sword again. So do I have space? Don't want to give up the cursed sword. I do want to uncurse it, though. There we go. You have finally obtained the Sword of Erling. That name, Erling, is replaced by the name of whoever's at the top of the scoreboard. This does count as a magic sword, so if you don't want to bother with the elemental swords, you don't have to. I like getting the elemental swords, I just like their visual effect. And the sound. They have a special sound effect when you hit enemies with them, too. Let's see, I think I have to use... I could either use... Oh! Okay, it's gone. Little trap thing is gone. Let's get the treasure then. I don't have any keys. Oh, it's not locked! Perfect. Alright, what do I give up for this? That goes right after my guard. Bastard sword one, I give up that. And is that a lightning ring? No, that's a ring of spell turning. Another brittle item, but it's very rare. I don't know exactly what it does. Other than I can infer that it protects you against spells somehow. I heard, like, if I'm remembering correctly, someone told me that it's good against... I'm gonna use the fire sword just because I can. I remember being told that it lets you block spells, but that sounds useless to me because if I'm not used to blocking spells, I'm not going to start blocking them on the off chance that I have a ring of spell turning and it hasn't been broken by the time I need to block spells. Somewhere around here is a frost shield as well. It's not going to be as useful to me. Ooh, I want that. Ring of Cure Serious Wounds. I don't want to give up anything for it, though. Not even the oils. I'll have to give it up. Let's see, is there a flying bug? There is. So that thing is the trigger for those. I wonder if I could just scroll it back here. Does that work? No. Oh, okay, I scrolled it off the screen. Alright, here's my frost shield. We are ready to fight Frost Salamander. Let's see if it goes as well as I hope. Roar. You, out. I retreated up into the corner where I couldn't get sideways to it. There we go. This is what you want to try and do. It's much easier in multiplayer, of course. But you can lock this guy. Oh, I picked something up. Alright, get off that item. Select my guard so I don't drop items. I don't even remember what those treasure chests are. I'm pretty sure, like, if you're in 2, 3, or 4 player, you could probably have someone on treasure chest duty, either a thief or a dwarf. But otherwise, I wouldn't bother with those. Baby owlbears will fight for the owner of their eggs. Okay, so the egg of owlbear, or the egg of wonder. Huh. I'm gonna have to look up the D&D stuff on that, because, like, you can steal an egg of owlbear from owlbears, but you have to trade it in at a store for an egg of wonder, and when you throw the egg of wonder, you get, like, a little owlbear minion for the next minute or so. Do I want anything? A lot of players will swap to their Sword of Legend so that they can sell the elemental sword they got and free up some space. I think I want to keep everything I got. Wait, no. I'll sell the elemental bottle to get large burning oil, or to get hammers? No. I want a lightning sword as well. Yeah, let's get out of here. I believe in the castle somewhere. It's either in the first or second stage of the castle that you can get a lightning sword. I'm pretty sure you can get it right before you fight, right before you face Ezerhorden. Apparently that scene is a reference to the previous game, Tower of Doom. So, change to my Sword of Legend. Don't really care if I drop my Sword of Fire, but I'm not in a hurry to drop it anytime soon. The Holy Avenger takes out any undead enemy in one hit, so if you're going for score, it's a great weapon for these parts of the game, where it's just waves and waves of undead. I feel like the little flash of the sword impact gets bigger the more damage you deal. Because I always notice it's significantly bigger when I'm using the Sword of Legend. Let's see, I can use this to rearrange my items. Ring of Invisibility. No, it's not that great. I'll just use it. Pick this back up. Ugh. Let's see what else. I think in this stage too is if you're not a fighter or a cleric, you can get your ultimate helmet in this area. It's a little tricky though. There's one enemy just waiting to fight right there, and I want to rearrange statues right now. Is the Hellhound trying to run away? Oh, no, they just don't see me yet. Okay. Let me lure these guys over here and maybe stand on this? No. I'll have to alert them too, to where I am, and then try to get them to stand on it. Okay, you're standing there. This is very difficult. This is a very difficult secret room to get into in single player. There's also a chance that enemies will time out and retreat. Alright, I'll give up on this one. This is... If I recall, that middle room there is a treasure chamber where you'll find the two-handed sword, which I don't really want for this run-through. Or the Morning Star for the cleric if you didn't buy it in the gnome village. There's a hellhound that wants to fight, or a group of them. This part is pretty tedious if you want to get all the secrets. You can push statues faster by mashing the attack button, so that's a little bit of a relief. So what do we have in here? That. This is a fun little battle room if you like luring enemies into these traps. Because they just keep stepping into them. And they can't get behind you, so they have to attack from in front. If they try to get behind you, they'll get sort of pushed down, they'll get pushed too far south. Alright, well that's fun, but it's not very fun to watch. You can also use the levers up top to deactivate them. I don't think I'll bother with what's on the other side. I'll just go right on ahead. These rooms are mostly for, like, multiplayer. Finding secrets in multiplayer, getting everyone their ultimate armor and stuff. Here... This is a decent room for single player. I think it's more magic-oriented than fighter-oriented, though. Find a lot of magic supporting stuff. I think the fighter can find his bracelet here, too, in that lower treasure chest. I got pounced on. And an ice shield isn't going to help with that. Lightning ring. Let me get that. Alright, let's see what's in these treasures. We got a deadfall. There's my bracelet. Oh, I actually traded it out at some point. It's a good thing I got it back. Silver dagger. Don't want to trade anything out. Maybe the hammers. Let's see what these... Oh, okay, this is the ultimate helmet room. So anyone who doesn't have their ultimate helmet can get it here. But to avoid opening the treasure chest early, you kind of want to lure all the enemies to this side. So you don't accidentally hit the treasure chest. Alright, they retreat. That was reckless of me, opening it, standing close like that. I believe that's everything here. You can either fight the Shadow Elves here if you're going for score, or just run ahead if you want to get to the boss. Equip those oils. Let's see who we're fighting. Telarin again. One of the routes in this game actually lets you skip this fight, sort of. by, I think, befriending Telarin's brother. Oh, that was a risky place to stand. Yeah, can't block fire with an ice shield. Eat fire! That was a pretty good one too. Okay, now I can take a clip. Now I can save a clip. Alright, we have a magic weapon, so we don't have to fear the gargoyles. But I do want to take on the enemies one at a time. Especially because they have reinforcements that show up like this. One weird thing between the first game and this one is that to hit someone on the ground, you have to, in the first game, in Tower of Doom, to hit someone on the ground, you have to duck and then swing your weapon. Whereas here, you have a standing OTG attack, but you can't hit someone if you duck. You can't OTG someone if you duck an attack. Do I want to save that? Yeah, I'll save it. I think if I were playing this in the arcade, I would just use it right away. But I also think there's some healing potions waiting for me. There's a healing potion. Is this the place where we find the lightning sword? No, I think we find some... Yeah, cure rings here. It's a good thing I saved it. So I do want to trade out my Sword of Fire for a Sword of Lightning. Let's see if I can do that here. I think the mage finds a staff... Oh no, not the mage. The cleric finds a staff of snakes here. One of these fires is illusionary. Or... Oh, if I had that bottle, I could use it here. There might be like a trigger bug or something. Alright, I'm gonna do what I did last time. Attempt to backwards jump through it, and then just walk through it with the slight invincibility frames I get. Or maybe not. Maybe now? Come on. There we go. Takes a bit. Oh, it's a two-hander. Wasn't worth it. Can't even pick it up for collection's sake. Oh, I guess, okay, next time I could just walk through it like that. Alright. So I got the two-hander for the collection. Just throw all RP out the window there. But yeah, not the lightning sword. Alright, if I don't have the lightning sword, I can still, like, because it's single player, I should still be okay with the lightning bolt rings and the Sword of Legend. Lightning sword is especially good when the Ezerhorden is eating one of your friends, because it immediately causes them to drop him. But otherwise, when the Ezerhorden is eating one of your friends and you hit him, you'll hit your friend too. Maybe I should just use the lightning bolt rings first. Run. There we go. Four. You'll notice he flinches twice. Oh, if you time things a certain way there. One, then two. One, and then two. He actually takes damage twice from the lightning rings. So I think he's like, not only is he weak against lightning in game, I think. It seems like he's accidentally like quadruple weak against lightning for that. Ugh, I can't believe I survived that one. But yeah, that is the most grueling fight of the game for me. It's so much more enjoyable when you're playing with 2, 3, or 4 players, and one of them has lightning bolt, and another has a... Either one or both of them has lightning bolt or a collection of lightning bolt rings. Let's get rid of this Sword of Fire. I want hammers and oils. And I don't think I'll want anything else. This is more or less kind of a relaxing segment. Like, you just got through a really tough battle. Oh, I don't want to drop those. Give me those back. But yeah, like, you just got through a really tough boss battle, have, like, a whole bunch of treasure, a bunch of easy fights, and if you've got the Displacer Cloak, like, a bunch of people are going to try and throw arrows at you, throw spears or shoot arrows at you, and they're not going to be able to do anything. So, just a little part of the game where you feel super powerful. Some Gauntlets of Power would be pretty nice right about now. Or that would have been useful a little while ago. The rods don't break, and they power up your elemental attacks. And yeah, they take up the space where your ring would go. I timed that badly. I should not select any of these items. I will give up the dagger for a fireball ring. So I think the next stage is just full of magical prizes. The bottle of oils, the Gene Summoning Ring. Lots of single-use, powerful magical spells. I think for the most part, I just need the hammers and oils. Everything else I can get is a bonus. But I would probably advise against going after all the treasures because you're not going to be able to hold them all. Unless you're using them as you find them. I slid right into him. Ring of Protection. Not Ring of Protection. Ring of Protection. There we go. I don't have any use for the Rod of Lightning anymore because I don't have the Lightning Sword, and I don't have any more Lightning Rings. Or Lightning Spells, for that matter. We've got 2 keys. I don't remember if any of these is any good. We have a medal, which I don't need. I'll end up dropping my Displacer Cloak if I try to pick it up. And one of these contains a key. So these traps will deactivate themselves once you get close to the door to the next area. These guys I like to take on one at a time. If you're a mage, one ice storm should be enough to take care of all of them at once. Someone seems to be doing some gardening right outside my place. This is another place where you gotta negotiate with your teammates who gets what healing potions, but since it's just me, just grab them all. So here about, I think, is where all the traps in the room deactivate. So if you want to go treasure hunting, now's the time. So step behind these fires. This is... I don't remember what this is. I think this is where the mage gets the Staff of Wizardry. And you can cast an ultimate spell with it, but only once per game. And it costs every player most of their health. And it does about 1.5 bars of damage to any boss. What can I give up for this? I can give up a fireball ring. I can give up a dagger. Let's get the Rod of Fire. Oops. Resume game. Yeah, Rod of Fire. Ring of Fireball. Oh, yes, give up the dagger. There we go. So Rod of Fire, Bottle of Elemental. That is Fire Elemental. Should do me some good. And what's in here? Alright, this is the place where the Archer would really shine. If I wanted to waste some hammers, I could do it to get a, that's a Gene Summoner, and in that far treasure chest is an owlbear egg. Or Egg of Wonder. Not the owlbear egg. What boss is this? This next boss is the Dark Warrior 2, who speeds up the more his health is depleted, so you just want to take him out as fast as possible. Roar. 7, 8, 9. The screen shake! Oh! That's worth clipping too. I have rarely seen the screen shake upon death. I can't believe that went so well. Alright, one more round of these, please. And those. Tell me about yourself. No one has even scratched that sin. Really, since fiery breath can incinerate anything in a blink. Okay, I won't try and stop you. Good luck, you'll need it. You can flirt with the shopkeepers too. If you, I think, touch here? I guess this guy isn't very flirty. Alright. But one of them, only one of the shopkeepers in the game, as far as I know, reacts positively to your flirting, and she'll invite you to dinner. I believe it's the shopkeep in the town of Ainson. She's either inviting you or your whole troop to dinner. Like, after this whole adventure is over, come back here and I'll make a big dinner for you all. That kind of thing. Roar. Oh, I thought I was standing above. And I keep making that mistake to think I could run up to him. But something keeps getting in the way when I run. Might actually be good to fight these guys first, because once you do get rid of them, they're gone. And all Nagpa has is his spells. Never actually tried that approach before, but I've seen others do it. Ooh, healing potion. Lemme. This guy's gonna constantly blow me back. That barely helped. Yeah, I don't think going after the other two is gonna help me. Whew, okay. Just sin left. Yeah, looks like it's up to you to finish this. Oh, I immediately messed that up by trying to run rather than slide. Always slide. Get into the habit of sliding. Slide to evade. Slide or slide attack if you can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then, bottles. What are you gonna do next? Ah, that. Alright, where's the shadow? Then that one. Another breath attack right away. One more? Okay. Last one. Oh, it's got to be embarrassing to be taken out by an attack like that. Taken out by the fighter's desperation attack, spending health just because he can. So yeah, that's my totally not 1cc run through Shadow over Mystara. I don't usually play, like, when I played in the arcades, I would usually default to the elf or the cleric, I believe, because I feel like they had the most interesting options. Like, the elf has both attacks and magic. She can use all the magic swords except for the two-hander. And she has, like, a bunch of spells on top of that. The mage is a little bit too specialized. I feel like the mage is only for multiplayer because he has such a bland combo. Like, he doesn't even have a combo on the ground. Just a staff slap. So you basically have to strategize how to use your lineup of spells so you don't run out by the time you get to the boss. Or hope that you can use his critical, that little Vorpal dagger that he has as a power attack. And hope that it does that 1/3, that it gets that critical hit every 1/20th of attacks. The dwarf is fun, just because of the weird, like, he gets a couple of extra fancy moves. Like, he jumps in the air and smashes into the ground with the axe spinning. He has a really vicious multi-hit anti-air attack, the down-up attack. Who's the other one I like? The cleric, right. The cleric, I think, has the best variety of weapons, because he starts with this simple little mace combo. You can upgrade that to a warhammer, which stuns enemies on one hit, has this really deep sound when it hits, like, really satisfying. And there's the Morningstar, of course, which is like, it's an extendo Morningstar. If you do a power attack with it, the spike ball extends off of the end and, like, it's pulled back in with a chain. And if you do his down-up attack, then he spins around with the thing and just hits everything nearby. But yeah, I had this craving to play this game again after seeing your playthrough, and so here it is. I hope you like what you see here, and if you give that game another chance, maybe try out some of the stuff that I showed off, like the moves and maybe some of the secret weapons and stuff. Oh, and definitely play it in multiplayer if you get the chance. Well, yeah, that's all I got to say, I guess, for this time. And, well, thanks for watching, everyone who's watching this now. And I hope to see you all next time.